Good morning, my friends. I wanted to come to you this morning and show you this cute little box that I came up with for my So Pretty box. I had done my So Pretty box several years ago, and I came across this and I altered it a bit to create this really much more stable box that you can use for many different things. Take your lid off and it drops open, and you have different areas here that you can actually put what I was using in my sewing kit, which was a pair of little scissors, some shout wipes, needle and different types of thread. On the bottom I had a magnet which had safety pins, and it just worked out really well, but the box didn't have these supporting edges, and so I had put it together, and so when it opened, these both opened at one side so you can get into your items. But this, with the cardstock I'm using, is much more sturdy, and it just folds up nicely and the lid goes back on. Now I found the basic pattern on my Cricut design space, and of course I altered it to fit my needs for what I needed to use this for. An idea of what I'm doing at this point in time is, this kind of gives us an idea here. I opened it and I had put in a little post-it on the bottom and some embellished paper clips, a little small pin, and then on this side I'm planned on doing some little note cards. And this will be a great gift for somebody to have on their desk, either on their desk at home or at work. And then it's very simple and it's very sturdy, where it's not going to fall apart on them. You can even make this and put little candies in it, and it's just super adorable. Just a cute little gift box. So I'm going to show you how I did this and what cardstocks that I'm going to use on this particular one. Now what you're going to need is, get my little paper here. Okay, so you're going to need one piece of an 11 by 11 heavyweight cardstock, 3/4 an inch by 3/4 of an inch of that same cardstock, and then a 3/2 of an inch by 1/2 of an inch of that same cardstock. You need 4 of those. So that is what I have right here. One 11 by 11, one 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, and 4 3.5 by 1.5 by 1/2. Now for the base, this one right here, I'm actually using this Super Assortment heavyweight, 20-pound heavyweight Coordinations cardstock. Very heavy, and it is sandable with the colored core. So when you cut it, it is not going to have that white core inside, but it's actually the same color as the cardstock, which makes it very nice when you're cutting around the edges and you don't have that white showing through. So this is what I'm using for the box I'm creating today. Super heavyweight, great. It'll give you some great support for your box. The next thing you're going to need is your designer colors that you're going to accent your box with. This one I used a black cardstock. It opens up. On the other side of that cardstock, it had a textured kind of a gray pink. And so to coordinate with those colors, I have this beautiful rose. And on the inside, this just says happy, 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 happy. So what you're going to need for those coordinating pieces is you're going to need 2 different cards that you're going to like. Now, if you don't mind it being a little lighter weight, you can use just your designer paper instead of a designer cardstock. Now I use the designer card because I really like the stability this gives it. So you're going to need 4 of a 3" by 3 1/4 inch. That's going to match your card. And you're going to need that in 2 different colors that you like. And then you're going to need 1 3 by 3 in each color that you like as well. There's my 3 by 3. So 4 in the 3 by 3 1/4 in both of your cards, and 1 each of a 3 by 3 in both of your coordinating colors. Now for these, I actually used this Be Merry pad, Be Merry and Bright, and I believe I got this from maymaymadeit.com, I believe. And this again, Couture Collections. It's 180 GSM uncoated paper, and it's also double-sided, and it's acid-free. And they are double-sided here. I've used a lot out of this paper pad already. Those don't go in that paper pad. But there you go. That is what I'm using for my my designer colors for this particular project. Now it's actually really simple once you get started, once you get going. So let's get started. So the 11 by 11 is going to be your the base of your box. And so you're going to do some scoring. You're going to take it and you're going to score at 3 3/4 of an inch. So I have 1, 2, 3 and 1/2 and 3/4. And I'm going to score 1 3/4. And I'm going to rotate it and score at 1 3/4. And rotate it, score at 1 3/4. Rotate it, score at 1 3/4. Super simple. And the next thing we're going to do is from your score marks, you've got your corner here to your corner here, and we're going to cut those corners off. And just take your scissors or your trimmer, and you're just going to cut from corner to corner on those score marks. So here's my trimmer, and I'm just going to place this in my trimmer and have my score mark to score mark on my cutting line here. And I'm just going to put this on down and I'm going to slice from score mark to score mark. And I'm going to do that on all 4 corners. Score mark to score mark. Score mark to score mark. And score mark to score mark. Now we can take our paper cutter away, our trimmer. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and bring in our scoreboard again. And we're going to line this up. I've got my line marked right down the center of my scoreboard, so I know right where my center's at. And I'm going to line this up so that I have the equal amounts on both sides. So here's my center, and I can go 7, 8 3/4, or I can go 5, 4 3/4. So we're going to move that over just a little bit So it's 1/8 on both sides of the 1/2 inch mark. So I'm just taking my length here and I'm dividing it in half, and I'm making sure I have equal parts on both sides of my center line. Now this works really good with your Tim Holtz ruler as well, that can actually show you exactly how big you need both sides. So this is my Tim Holtz ruler. I clean it up a little bit. But it has a regular ruler on one side that goes from 1 inch to 12 inches. And then on the other side, it starts at the 0, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so what this does is you can place it on your project, and when you have the same amount on each side, you know where your centerpiece is. So I've got, sorry about that. So here we are. We're going to go ahead and line this up so we have the same amount on both sides. So right now I have 2.5 and then I have 3. So I'm going to move it over. So I have 2 3/4 and 2 3/4. So I know that I have the same amount, 2 3/4, 2 3/4 on both sides of my paper here. So what I can do now is come to my 0 and make a little mark right there. So I know that I can line that up to my 6 mark, which is right in the middle. I'm going to take that and I'm going to score it right down to that where those 2 score marks meet. And then I can come right on down here where those score marks meet, and I know that I'm right in the middle and I can score right on up. Now rotate, I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I need 2 3/4, 2 3/4, because they should be even. Come right up here to my 0 mark, make my tick, place that at my 6 mark, flat up against, score on down where those 2 meet, score on down, and now I have something that looks like that. Now for the lid, you're going to take your 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and you're actually going to score a 1/2 inch all the way around. Rotate, 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 rotate. So now you have your lid, you have your box, and all your scoring's done. Let's move this out of the way. Now what I want to do is, this is going to be the outside of my box and the inside of my box. Now it really doesn't matter, but this is textured. This is a smooth side. This is a textured side. So I'd really like the textured side to be on the outside. So now we can take what's going to be our outer cover. Here is our 3 1/2. I'm sorry, 3 by 3, and that's going to go right in the center on the bottom. And then each of these are going to go right around the edge. Now these are directional, as I say, Merry Christmas. So I want to make sure that each one of these are going to be standing up properly where they need to be. There's that one. There's that one. That's my 3 by 3. There we go. Now this doesn't matter. It's going to be on the bottom, so I mean I can turn that over if I want to. But there is my outer edge. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach those, and then we'll move on and get the inside pieces ready. Now this art glitter glue, super strong and dries very quick. So this needs to be upside down for me because this is going to be closing. I want to make sure it's facing the proper direction. And I want to center that best as I can. Press that down. And there we have one. Go ahead and do the others. I'm just going to use the glue. It's so much faster. And it really is a very strong adhesive. And right in the middle, I'm trying to line up my edges here. And rotate. And rotate. Rotate. Careful there. All right. So there's the outside of my box. Super simple, super easy. Now for the inside, we're going to flip it on over. The bottom piece is going to be easy. That's an easy one. We're going to glue that right smack in the middle. After I make sure that my lid is ready. I get my art glitter glue from maymaymadeit.com as well. And this is going to go right in the middle of the inside of the box. And the inside pieces are going to be a little different than the outside decorative pieces. Here's our inside decorative pieces. And these 4 little pieces here, I'm actually going to wrap around the inside designer pieces because I want to be able to put things on the tabs, whether I put in little stamps for cards, or if I'm making a sewing kit, you can put in the little miniature scissors, or if I'm doing that little desk kit or a journaling box, you can put in embellished paper clips, anything like that. So I'm just going to wrap that around, and then I'm going to glue that on down. So I'm going to put a little bit of the glue. Right on there. And once again, we have paper that it does not go one way or another because they have directional on there, but they go directional in both ways. So I'm going to hold that on there just for a few seconds, and it's going to grab and it's going to hold. Perfect. And let's do that on all the rest of these 3 here. Now I'm going to do a couple that are a little loose like this, so I can put in there anything that's larger. If I want to put in the scissors in there, if I want to put in some shout wipes in there, it's wide enough where I can do that in there. But I also want to do some that are a little more snug, and that way if I'm putting something slim in there, I can do that, whether it is like a few little stamps. So I'm going to go ahead and just fold one end down. Now you can use your scoreboard and score this and measure, that's fine too. But I have no reason. I can just take it, glue it, wrap it around, and glue it. And then I have a nice placement on there. Get my glue on there. Wrap it around, make sure it's even. Hold it just for a few seconds. That's all it takes. That one's ready to roll as well. 2 more. Might help if I didn't bring all the extra scraps over with me. Let's just fold one down, glue it. Now you can use the real thin tape on there as well, but since it's such a thin piece, the glue just works fine for me. And I'm also putting these at different varying heights on these designer pieces, because I never know what I'm going to put in there. If I'm going to put something in that needs to be more stable at the top, or something that's going to be at the bottom, if I'm going to put some embellishments in there that are on like paper clips, or if I'm going to put some embellishment, maybe the hat pins, anything like that, that'll slide in there nicely and give you lots of room. That would be really cute to put some hat pins in there. And then let's do one more, leaning more towards the bottom. Again, we have the top, we have a couple centers, and let's do one that's going to be kind of towards the bottom. I love these colors. So not a traditional Christmas color, but they're just so elegant at the same time. And let's fold that over, put a little glue on the back of that. Doesn't take a whole lot. Hold it down. And then these are going to go on the inside of our box, just like this. So let's go ahead and get those glued down. It comes together so quick. I'm going to line it up with the inside of that bottom piece that I've already laid down. Same on this side. Rotate it. Need to refill my little bottle here. I get this art glitter glue at, I believe I already said, take that pen out of my mouth. Shame on me. Take that art glitter glue. I get it from May Made It. They have the larger bottles, and then they have these smaller 2-ounce bottles, which are a lot easier to handle. So I have the large bottle and I just refill the small one, and I use the little precision tip and the little needle to a little straight pin to stick in there and keep it from drying up. Okay, so there's that. Inside, outside, or out. No, I've already got this on the inside. I'm going to leave that there. And then we'll cut some DSP for this. But let's go ahead and get this folded and burnished. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to have my score lines here, and I'm just going to fold my box. Open it back up. Right on that fold line. It'll go right in there because this is such good cardstock. It will not crack on you. So you want to use a good cardstock that is not, don't use something that's real inexpensive that will crack on you, and you'll have to start over, or it won't be as firm and sturdy of a box. Here we go. And one more side. I've already done that. So now that I have all 4 sides, this is just going to close right on up just like that. Now I like to go ahead and take my bone folder and score along these lines a little bit, but taking it and pinching it, because you can lay it down just like this. Lay it down and use my bone folder. And that's going to help that box come together. So I'm going to just lay it down, use my bone folder to crease right along that edge. I'm going to rotate and do the same on this side. Line it up, score that, and because we scored right down the center of this piece here to the corners, that is going to just fold up nicely and create a really nice seam there. So let's go ahead and lay this down, rotate this over, pull this on in, pour that on up. I just love these colors. I just think they're absolutely beautiful. Fold it on down, score it on up. So now that you have all of those scored, that is going to just fold on up beautifully. And there's the base of our box. I just love it. Love it. Okay, now we need a lid. And that's where the 4 3/4 by 3 3/4 come in. And then we're going to need a DSP for the top and then for around our edges. So what we're going to need for that is, since this is a 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, I want to take a 1/2 inch off. So we want a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 of our outside DSP, so our Merry Christmas. And then along the edges, this is a 1/2 inch, so I really want to try to get like a 1/4 inch by 4 1/4 long. So let's go ahead and get that cut out. Okay, so it was not 4 1/4, it's 3 1/4. 3 1/4 square. And then your strips are going to be 3 1/4 by 1/4. Now I know that's awful small, so it's not, you don't have to necessarily do it that small. You can do it bigger if you like, whatever is more comfortable for you. So for this lid, what we're going to do is on the score lines, let's get some better scissors. On the score lines on one side, you're going to cut right up that score line, right on the outside where you're cutting that score line away. And then you're going to just angle it a little bit and cut a little wedge out of that. And you're going to do the same on the other side. Cut the score line away and cut a little wedge. What does it mean to cut the score line away? If you look here, you've got your score line. And then here, what I've done is I've just cut along the edge. Let's turn it so you can see it better this way. Cut along the edge right here so that score line is no longer there. And then angle cut the other piece out. Score line, cut on one side of it, and then cut the piece away. Let's get up to there a little bit better. And what this is going to do is it's going to now form our lid. It's going to fold on over, fold on over, fold on over, and then these tabs are going to fold on in and glue together. But let's go ahead and get our outer pieces on there. I'm going to put my top on the lid, my decoration cardstock. Right in the center. And then I'm going to take these pieces, these little thin pieces, and I'm going to go all around the outer edges. Now you don't have to do this because they are very small and a little tedious. But I like that it gives just a little extra something. I'll rotate, make sure my Merry Christmases are upright so that when I've had the lid on, you can actually read, if you can see it, because these are such small pieces. Rotate. Oh, my shaky hands again. Merry Christmas. Oh, very straight cut there. One more. Let's put that one on upside down. Merry Christmas. So now I'm going to go ahead and make my box. Now I did cut those wedges out, so as I fold this in, it won't have any bulk in there. So now I'm just going to take these sides, I'm going to fold them on up, fold on up. There will be glue on these tabs here. Glue and glue. Fold that in, fold that up so it's nice and square. Score marks aren't covered. Got a nice square lid, and then let's do the other side. Glue on my tab. Glue on my tab. Hold it in. Pull that side right on up to that score mark. And right on up to that score mark. Hold it down. Now you have a lid for this box. Fold your box on in, take your lid right on top. How easy was that? And how fun. You know, you can just stick so many different things in there. I have these little pins. You can stick these little pins in there. You can stick a Post-it note packet. It will fit nicely on the bottom. I have these embellished paper clips. Be great for those friends of yours who do journaling. It's another one that I've made. Look at that itty bitty envelope. I just love it. That can go right on in there. You can put stickers in there, stamps in there, whatever your heart desires. Fold it on up. Perfect little box to sit. You can now embellish this any way you like. I've done several different things in the past where I've done ribbons and stickers and ephemera, and it just is super cute. And how easy. Just pop right on open. You have everything you need, and then when you're done, just bada bing, bada bang. All done. Yay. All right, if you guys would like to see me decorate these boxes, embellish them, just put a comment below. I would love to show you how I actually decorate these beautiful boxes. So, thank you so much for joining me today. I am so happy that I've been able to share some of these items and ideas with you. These will be done up and go in my craft fair this fall, and I just can't wait to see how well they go over. I have not done these boxes yet, and so I'm just really excited. So thank you for joining me again. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to know when I am actually uploading new videos, hit that subscribe button and then the notification button, and you will get notified when I am uploading a new video. I do so many different things, from paper crafting, which is where my desire is, to also altering and upcycling, which I love to do as well, because, you know, we don't want everything to end up in the landfill. So if you can recycle, upcycle, turn trash into treasure, I love doing that as well. So I love watching things transform from one thing to another, especially flat paper, into something just beautiful that you can use. Just join me and see how we can do this together. And I just thank you so much. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Bye for now.